his list in his list of donors. He was he was required to show Braggs was required not Braggs was required to show his list of donors. George Soros, not Solos. You know what I'm saying? I guess he's correcting the guy language, but who gives a flying fuck because we know what the fuck he was talking about. You know, who is you? His principal in the school? You know what I'm saying? The social worker or the nurse in the school or his mother. You know what I'm saying? But he said Solos because he must be Latino in more ways than one. But, you know what I'm saying? He looked like more like so dumb if you ask me. But, you know what I'm saying? He's correcting. He's talking about Soros, not Solos. You know what I'm saying? Names doesn't appear on the donors list. Trump and Jordan are lying. And no, Trump and Jordan are not lying. They're telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? And then I guess Harold Johnson comes in and he say, yep. You know what I'm saying? And he's another nutcase, just the same. You know what I'm saying? But this one is coming in by David also. You know what I'm saying? Right after another comment. You know what I'm saying? This came in April 14, 2023 at 9:18 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And he responds to that yep or whatever they were saying. He said it doesn't have George Soros' name on it because the money was funneled through a organization sponsored by him. That is true. That is 100% true. That's how he did it probably with Black Lives Matter as well. And the internet also. You know what I'm saying? You know, and many of this bull. And then we see Jerry comes in and Jerry drops another joint on here. Hold on a second, people. Jerry, he comes in with his analogy, and Jerry says in more ways than one. I guess Jerry says, the brother of my eyes. Jerry says, there is absolutely no proof of any money being funneled through an organization to Braggs from Soros. Jackass, you think they're going to let you see that? And you think you actually going to find the information that prove that point? Can you prove that? While you're talking that piece of jazz, you know what I'm saying? And then he says, it's amazing how Trump ability to lie has rubbed off on so many of his followers. What followers? No. We're supporters of the truth, the right, and the American way. Not just the right, not just the wrong, and the robbing and stealing, murder, blood sucking, vampire, Baphomet, Luciferian piece of crap way. This must stop, and it must stop now. So when you're sitting here talking about something that you yourself have not shown us any true evidence of, so we can give you a justification on the rightness of your not accusation but your answer to what you think is right or wrong, you haven't proven that. You know what I'm saying? Saying it's amazing that the ability to rub off on so many of his followers. We're not followers. If he's following it the rightful way, then we're gonna follow the rightful way to make sure that we have a future for our children, don't we? They want, and then he went on to say they want to be real. They want to be real, so they just say it, kind of like a 8-year-old grown up. But the problem is that you, Mr. Gary, you know what I'm saying, sounds like an 8-year-old. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? Now we're looking at how do you know that Soros, you know what I'm saying, did not go through one of his shell companies. What am I missing? Great question. Great question on Mr. David H. You know what I'm saying? Then we have here, it looked like Teresa. She comes in and says, how do you think Soros gets away with paying all these people? He certainly doesn't do it directly. Yes, great analogy. You know what I'm saying? There are thousands of organizations, which they always start these criminal crooked suckers, you know what I'm saying? He donates to. You know what I'm saying? You would never believe the number of politicians, lawyers, and judges, law enforcement, and so on that receives funding from him. Plus, they are on both sides of the aisle. Yes, great analogy by Teresa. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you believe it, it is a fact. Boom. The goddess have laid out Mrs. Teresa. You know what I'm saying? Laid out that shit perfectly. You know what I'm saying? Perfectly. Where she gave her comment, you know what I'm saying, on the menu, the comment on, you know what I'm saying, via crime laws and the Jim Jordan story that came in April featuring the gay news, domestic U.S. politics. You know what I'm saying? She dropped a beautiful one, Mrs. Teresa. She dropped that right on the bone. I have to give her a hand on that analogy for sure. Wow, she is wide awake. But then we have another one coming by Tim. Now I'm saying April 15, 2023 at 12:45 p.m. You know what I'm saying? 12:45 p.m. where David H. You know what I'm saying? He responds by no Tim, not David H. I said Tim responds by saying to after Teresa's turn, he comes in and he says, David H. You are missing that you are a moron who is deflecting and distracting for corruption, liars, grow grow a brain. Uh, Homeboy, or whoever it is, Tim, the same thing that you just said applies to you, and that's sad. Stop calling and saying things that really is you in more ways than one. But Teresa comes back and says, I agree, couldn't say it better. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm sorry, Tim. I think you would. I don't know who you're talking about. That who's David H. I'm sorry. Let's go back and look. Oh yeah, David. You say how does Soros? How do you know Soros did not go through his thing? And then he said David H. up here. You know what I'm saying? When he responded to that, you know what I'm saying? Let me find that for you. Oh, you said David H. You are missing. You know what I'm saying? That I guess in the way he said it, he's responding to him saying that he missing a point and he needs to grow a brain. You know what I'm saying? And then Teresa comes back and said, I couldn't say it better, which is true. You know what I'm saying?